Ross, Brandon Ingram for Myles Turner.
Yes. Like a million times, yes. This is an interesting one because Indiana is going to have to back up the Brinks truck for Siakam. And so Indiana is about to go from a very good financial situation to a like they're going from a year ago, one of those teams everybody's like, Indiana's in a great spot. Like they got them, unlimited cap space and Halliburton and this, that, and the other to like, yeah, but like then you give Siakam $35-40 million dollars. You just gave up a couple picks to get him. Like they very quickly become sort of like not shorthanded, but like cap constrained. They, I think they have a couple second rounders this year. Maybe I think they have a 2025 first, but like that's a team where if you could convince them, hey, like Brandon Ingram for Myles Turner probably, y'all probably won't have the money necessarily to bring him back long term. Let's make that 1 year swap. Maybe Brandon fits better with Halliburton and Siakam. You've got kind of this like, they want to play really fast anyway under Carlisle. Like, I think there's like, that's an interesting one for me because I think you could maybe even kick them a couple picks. Turner's from down here. I think there's a better chance to maybe get Turner to like sign an extension. He in theory fits with Zion. Like I would be exploring that full throttle if it was in any way a real scenario. I don't know that it is. I doubt that it is based off the success Indiana just had. But like that's a really interesting one for me. If I could get Myles Turner as like just a 1-for-1 swap, even though he's on an expiring, just like Brandon, I like that one.
Okay. I like that for both teams, Ross. Kind of.
I do too. I don't know why Indiana wouldn't do like I'm with you. We don't need to belabor it, but I agree. I kind of see that as a win-win based off play style, current financial situation of both teams. Like that seems like a win-win. But
the question I have, Ross, because I never looked at Indiana's financial situation, but if they got to pay Siakam, you saying like, and shit, if you go to the Eastern Conference Finals, you're probably willing to go into the tax.
You would
think. So you saying that they don't want to go into they probably wouldn't go to extend Myles, but they would go into the tax to extend Brandon Ingram. I agree with that. I agree with it. And shit, Ben Mathurin and Myles Turner, let's do it. Like,
Jesus.
And all the picks you want, and then they could take those picks. And to be fair, they've done a better job.
They love Dyson Daniels too, and
they've done a better job drafting than we have. Like Neesmith,
they've done a really good job.
They've done they've got Neesmith, Jackson, and Shepard, Nimhard. They're drafting in that.
Neesmith went to Boston, right? First. Am I crazy?
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. But they've done a better job drafting in that 16 to 30 range than we have. And so, like, they might be a team that would say, like, find value in these picks that, like, in theory, we shouldn't want. I don't know. I just saw somebody, David, that was a good question. That to me is one that, like, makes a ton of sense, I think, to a certain – like in a certain scenario for both teams. A lot of this stuff that gets posted, like I just don't. It doesn't make it. Yeah, look, of course, it makes sense for the Pelicans, but like the other
Paul
team,
George is my favorite.
The other team would just laugh at it. Like, yeah, like the money works, but why would they? Why would the other team do that? Brandon, like people have to remember that Brandon's deal is up at the end of the year, and like I think that dude wants to get paid something big, like, and I don't know that there's gonna be a lot of teams that are like, oh yeah, let me give you something super valuable. And understand that like he could be gone soon. That's why I think you're going to be looking at this type of deal. Like this to me is the type of situation of like, hey, cool. Like this dude might not stay with us long term. Brandon is, wants out. Like let's just go ahead and make a 1-for-1 swap. See if we can make it work for a year. So
you could finally try to figure out what a floor spacing big and or rim protecting option looks like after 5 years.
You know what? Also,
finally,
Brandon, he has experience playing with Halliburton.
Yeah,
Griff coveted Myles Turner for years. Myles Turner's a terrible rebounder, but Griff has coveted Myles Turner for years. And like I said, Brandon played with Halliburton in the Olympics when he was putting up these numbers. He said he needs a point guard. Let's make it happen.
To be fair, his better numbers came when he did play with Halliburton. The numbers, he did look better. He has said when he does play with a point guard like Lonzo, his numbers do look better. I don't know how him and their coach, oh my God,
Carlisle.
I don't know how that's gonna work. But
got a point.
They want to play fast.
Yeah.
Got a point there.